Welcome to Leo Agosto's compilation channel. Here, you'll only find videos that are 10 minutes or longer, my friend. So subscribe so you don't miss any videos, alright? Hello Leo, my name is Adriano Balhosa de Santana. My family and I are very used to sometimes traveling to the countryside of Bahia, more specifically to Serrinha, because my uncle has a farm there and my parents also have a piece of land for planting there. When we go to that farm, we ride horses. Me, my father, my brother, my uncle, my cousin, and a friend of my uncle. On one of those rides, we had been riding our horses as usual, when suddenly we came across a stallion on the way. Whoa! For those who don't know, stallions are horses that are bred for mating. This horse started trying to mount our mares. Man, the horse wants to mate, dude. What's going on? So we started using our sticks, which are like a whip, to drive them away. We drove him away, but later he came back. Only this time it was different. He almost mounted my uncle's friend's mare. Damn, man, the horse wants to breed. Man, what a moment for him to try to breed, right? When you guys are out there riding with the mares. Man, that's some crazy stuff, huh? So she galloped a lot, but she got too close to a wire and got stuck on it. Dude! Then this friend of my uncle got off her and took off the wire, but the wire flew onto my mare. Damn, man, then she got hurt. Unfortunately, she went out of control. I tried my best to stop her, but I wasn't successful. This friend of my uncle was right in front of me at the time. Then the mare ran over him. At that moment, I froze. I thought, my God, I killed him. Because your mare ran over your uncle's friend, man. What the heck, man? And I started to cry. I was disappointed that I couldn't stop her. Time seemed to slow down, and the mare ran over him. And I could only think about him, when suddenly he got up from the ground and started thanking me, saying that if I hadn't turned her a little, he would be dead. So, Leo. That's how I almost killed someone. This event really marked me and I wanted to share it with you. Thank you so much, Adria, for sharing your story, man. Dude, what a crazy situation is that, man. The stallion trying to get to the mares you guys were taking, and that part with the wire, man, that's so bizarre, dude. Wow, man, it's a good thing you guys didn't get hurt, right? Hello, Leo. My name is Guilherme and I'm 12 years old. I want to tell you a story that happened to me. I was about 5 years old at that time and my dad was going to work. He left me with the neighbor. I used to get anxious for him to come back so I could play PlayStation 1 and also play on the PC, Bomberman, Grand Theft Auto, those kinds of things, Oh, you just wanted to be the dad so he could set up the game for you, right? Ah, I get it. But everything was weird that day. I was playing outside. I don't really remember what, but I was playing with my
best friend.
So I asked to go home to drink some water just to drool. When I got home, I turned on the television and started messing around with the television settings. Ah, kid, you were already trying to put the game on before your dad got home, right? Damn, man, don't do that, dude. Don't do that. I remember that it showed up to change the time, which was 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
In the afternoon, right? You switched to the television schedule system, right? And I thought, what if I change it to 4 o'clock? Will my dad come home? What's that, man? Changing the time? Are you crazy? I did that and went back outside. And suddenly, everyone got scared because it suddenly changed from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the neighbors got scared by that. I got really nervous because I messed with the time. My conscience was heavy and I was really scared. Dude, you changed the time on your television, and with that you changed the world time for everything. How is that possible, man? You changed the world time just with a few clicks on your television. I didn't tell anyone that I had changed it.
The time.
And I kept playing. Then my dad got home from work and I was really scared he would get mad at me. But he didn't. When he got home, he turned on the PC and put the game on for me to play. End of story. Dude, what was that, man? You changed your television's time and the world time changed automatically? Here's my theory, man. When you changed your television's time, daylight saving time had already changed automatically, right? Like, it was that 1 hour change. I think your television was behind, and then when you made that change, it went back to the normal time, right? It was the right time. And the surprise from people on the street could have been, I don't know, maybe it was sunny and then it started to get cloudy and rain, something like that, some change in the weather outside, just a coincidence. I don't think it was because you changed your television's time that the whole world's time changed, right? That everything went by faster. Hi Leo, today I'm here to tell a bizarre story that happened to me. One day I was playing soccer with my friends at the field near the cemetery. There had to be something bizarre about it, right? Cemetery. Do you think skeletons are going to rise from the ground and play soccer with them? Let's see what happened here, huh? We were all in a really competitive spirit. Nobody wanted to lose. I know how it is, man, that competitive soccer spirit. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to get nutmegged. Nobody wants to get chipped. Everyone goes crazy wanting to win, right? Nobody wants to lose, man. Then there was a moment when my friend went to kick the ball. He kicked it so hard that the ball went over the goal. And it ended up inside the cemetery. Look at things getting crazy. Everyone froze watching the ball fall in there. The guys made a little circle to see who would go into the cemetery and get our ball back. I said, leave it to me. I'll go get it. I'm not afraid of that stuff. I don't know, man. I'm sensing trouble. I walked in calmly, looked for the ball, and couldn't find it. After walking for 5 minutes deeper into that huge cemetery, I saw the ball on top of a tomb. Oh my God! The sun was setting and I got closer to the tomb. Suddenly, a candle lit up out of nowhere. What do you mean, man? The candle lit up and there was no one there. What happened, man? Why would the candle light up the moment you arrived, man? What's going on? That's a ghost, man. Get out of there, run, man. Run, get out of there while you still can. I almost crapped my pants from fear. Man, I would have totally crapped myself that day. I grabbed the ball and got out of there. I ran like crazy, almost fell down. I managed to get out of the cemetery and find my friends. Then I told them what happened. They got curious and we went back to check it out. You guys went back into the cemetery? Seriously, after that candle lit up for no reason? Damn, what happened? And there was nothing there, not even the candle was lit. After that, I never played next to the cemetery again. That was my story, thank you. That's it, man. You shouldn't even go near that place, bro. There's something weird about that spot, huh? Seriously? Candles lighting up while you walk by? Damn, man, that's crazy. Get out of there, man. Hello, Leo Augusto. My name is Esteban Vitor. Hey, man, how's it going with you? Thank you so much for sending your story. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. Let's see what you sent me here, right? I'm going to tell a story that happened to me. One day I was going to school like I do every day, but that day I felt something strange, like it was a warning not to leave the house. I always had these feelings of not wanting to leave home. Something would tell me, no, don't go to school today, Leo, don't go. Stay here watching anime, cartoons, Dragon Ball, those kinds of things, right? Television, Globinho, don't go to school, it's too early, 7 in the morning, right? That's crazy, but let's go. Even so, I had to go, right? I couldn't miss class. I left home, bam, walked down a street, crossed it, kept going, passed the avenue, and got to a median strip. I figured I could get through with my bike. So I went and did it, right? But out of nowhere, the ground gave way, and I fell into the wet cement. Damn, man, you fell into the wet cement when you rode your bike through? That sucks. There wasn't... How did that even happen, man? My brand new bike got all dirty. Damn, dude, look at this mess. On my way to school, got dirty, it went bad. My clothes got all covered in cement. Damn, man, I know how that is. I've worked over 20 years on construction sites. I know what it's like when the cement hits like that. It leaves that stain, that gray smudge, and to get that off when it dries, man, it's tough. My clothes got all covered in cement. There was no sign saying there was fresh cement in that spot, but the worst was yet to come. The people around me started laughing at me. Even the people in the cars passing by on the avenue stopped and laughed at me. Man, what a bunch of jerks. These people who laugh at your misfortune, huh? So with my bike all dirty, I went to school, right? Dirty like that, man. I'd go back home, take a quick shower, and then come back, my friend. Damn, this is going to cause trouble, huh? When I got there, everyone laughed at me, even the school staff. Damn, man! What a tragedy, huh? Coordinators and teachers, a bunch of jerks who were laughing at you. The doorman gave me a sponge so I could clean my bike. Damn. That doorman is a good guy, huh? At least he helped you. Man, everyone was laughing at you, and the guy comes over. My son, here, take this sponge to wash your bike. He should have given you some clothes too, right? Meanwhile, the cement was drying even more on my clothes. Man, and the students were making fun of me. Even today, my classmates still joke about it. That day definitely went down in history. Damn, man, what a tragedy, what a crazy story. I remember one time, man, when I had ripped my shirt at school, the people there actually gave me a new one. I had ripped it right here, you know, and then they went and gave me a new one. They could have given you a new shirt too, right? Because of that accident, damn, and they still laughed at you. What a mess. Hi Leo, I'm Bia Santana, and I'm going to tell a story that happened to me and my cousin. When I was 3 years old, I used to stay at my grandma's house with my cousin while our parents went to work. My grandma's house was small, so the bedroom was really close to the kitchen. And there was a lighter in the kitchen. No, don't do that, my brother. Don't do that, my sister. Don't do that. 3 years old, curious to know how to use a lighter. My cousin, who was the same age as me, knew how to light a lighter and I didn't. So I asked him to teach me, right? So we went. We went to the bedroom and sat on the bed. And that's when things started heating up, literally. What a danger, man. What a danger, seriously. Because while he was teaching me, I don't know what happened, but the flame caught on the bedspread and everything started catching fire. Damn, what a mess that was. That was intense. We ran out desperate, crying to the laundry room, where our grandmother was washing clothes. We kept saying it was an accident, and she ran out with buckets full of water to put out the fire. Damn. In the end, she managed to put out the fire. No one got hurt. The whole neighborhood was watching from outside, and my grandmother was in disbelief because of the fire. After that day, my grandmother was always keeping an eye on us. But that doesn't mean we stopped getting into trouble, right? If this story gets noticed, I'll tell you about other adventures. Thank you very much, Beatrice Santana. How dangerous, huh? Dangerous. I've even played with fire before. When I was a kid, I tried to burn some plastic. The plastic stuck to my thigh. Man, it hurt like crazy. And then during the week, I kept trying to hide that burn on my thigh from my mom. And then I asked her for a band-aid. She said, "Why do you need a band-aid, Leo? Why do you want those band-aids, huh?" Then I said, "It's because I hurt myself. Let me see the injury." So I went there, lifted up my shorts like this, and then she started talking to me, right? If I leave you alone for just a few minutes, you already get into trouble, kid. It's tough when we're kids. Curiosity is like something impossible to hold back, right? Hey Leo, how's it going? My name is Avelito. Weird name, I know, but you can call me Neto, okay? Dude, I'll call you Neto then, alright? I'm going to tell you a story that didn't exactly happen to me, but to my friends. It was a Sunday afternoon and the weather was really nice. My friends and I were out on the street playing marbles. There was me, Leo, he's my brother, you know, and my friend named Luca, my best friend nowadays. Then a kid who lived in our neighborhood showed up. He had a bike and wanted to sell it to my friend. Whoa, let's see what happened here, huh? But the bike didn't have any brakes. What's up with that, man? So my friend refused. And if I remember right, he didn't even know how to ride a bike. Then this kid didn't take no for an answer and said, just wait, I'll show you how awesome this bike is, man. And he decided to use the bike. Dude, the guy's going to do a demonstration, a test drive of this bike with no brakes. But my friends and I lived on the biggest hill in the city. Here comes the mess, just wait.
Something bad is going to happen.
Right? It was really huge. And this kid went all the way to the top of the hill, determined to ride down pedaling. My house was in the middle of that street. So I sat at my front door with my brother and decided to watch the scene. Then this kid started pedaling. And he went down the hill at an incredible speed. Dude, this is going to end badly, man. But he didn't have any brakes. The guy was determined to convince you that the bike was good, right? But he didn't have any brakes. He went past us like a rocket. And then he lost control and fell in the middle of the ride, flipping over like a car in Fast and Furious. He got really messed up. And it might seem mean, but we couldn't stop laughing. Oh my god, man. Then he went up the hill with the bike. And even then, he didn't give up on selling. Damn, this guy goes through more danger than anyone. There was a crisis, but the guy still wants to sell you this stuff. No matter what, even doing terrible marketing, right? He fell, already messed it up. He's already messed himself up completely. And he asked if my friend would want the bike. Oh my god, and it turned out he couldn't do it. He couldn't sell the bike. Of course, right? What terrible marketing. The guy goes up the hill without brakes even. Look at that. This is my bike. It's really good, but it doesn't have brakes. But even so, I'm going to try to go down this hill and show you that it's perfect. Except it's not, right? Wow, it's a good thing that guy didn't break a leg or any bones. Hey Leo, how's it going? My name is Joel and I really wanted to share this story here on the channel. I was about 6 years old. It was Saturday and I was sleeping in my room. And when it was around 7 in the morning, I woke up. I was still lying in bed in that morning laziness. I was just rubbing my eyes to wake up. So far so good, but when I was looking around my room, the door was open. And then I saw something strange. It looked like a human, but it was tall and skinny. It was completely ripped. Parts of its body were missing and it started speaking strange languages. To this day, I can't figure out what it was saying to me that day. I was really scared. I couldn't move, man. Completely paralyzed. That's when the thing started coming closer to me, walking slowly all the way to my bed. That's when I screamed really loud and started crying. My mom heard my desperate screams from the room below where she was. She ran to my room, freaking out to see what was going on, right? When she got there, man, the thing was gone. It disappeared in the blink of an eye. What the heck, man? After that, I never had any doubt that the supernatural is hiding right under our noses. But thank God I never had that problem again. Thank you so much, Joan, for your story. Man, what kind of creature was that? All torn up? That just vanished when your mom showed up, man. It seems like supernatural beings are afraid of adults. Isn't that right? They just disappear out of nowhere, but that's so bizarre, right, my man? That story is crazy, huh? Hey Leo, I love your channel. You can call me Sophie. So Sophie, how are you? I'll start my story now. Here it goes.
I was about 7 or 8 years old and it was just me and my dad at home because my mom had gone to a concert.
My dad was sleeping and it must have been late at night. I was just waiting for my mom to get home. That's right. You're one of those people who can't sleep while a family member is out of the house. Isn't that true? Good. That's it. At home, we had an electric piano, but it wasn't just a decorative object. My mother used to play beautiful songs on it. So I was reading a comic book in my room when I heard the piano playing. I thought it was strange because I would have heard the sound of my mother opening the living room door from where I was. But okay, I ran out to hug her. The hallway light had burned out, so everything was dark. When I got to the living room, I turned on the light on one side, but it didn't light up the whole room because the living room was big. On the opposite side was the piano. It was kind of dark, but I could see that my mom wasn't there. I thought, one of my cats must have climbed onto the piano. After all, sometimes they do that. However, it would be strange if that were the case. Because the sound I heard in my room was beautiful and had several chords. There was no way a cat could play music. My God, wow, who played that music in your living room? Wow, man, but I hadn't thought about that at the time. So, okay, I turned on the other light and saw that there was no cat, and I realized the piano was turned off. How did the piano play music by itself when it was off? Wow, what the hell? I drank a glass of water and went to my room. Only when I got there did I realize what had happened. I dove under the blanket and tried to sleep. I only managed to after a long time. After all, I was shaking with fear. Man, that was crazy. When I woke up, I told my dad everything, and he told me that the neighbor in the apartment below played the piano. Could it have been the neighbor who played the piano in the middle of the night when you were waiting for your mom?
It could be, but it also might not be, right? Wow, now that question is just hanging in the air, huh?
Was it the neighbor or was it something supernatural? I hope you enjoyed this compilation and that I brought you good entertainment. Subtitled by Adriana Zanotto.